A lion does not roar to prove it is a lion, nor does a mountain explain its silence. In a world that demands men chase, prove, and perform, the ancient world whispers a different code, one not written in likes or text receipts, but in scars, silence, and the weight of one's own breath. If you're constantly trying to be chosen, you've already forgotten that you were born whole. You were never meant to beg for something you could attract by becoming. This isn't about being alpha. This is about being anchored. Stoicism and African philosophy, two traditions that span continents and centuries, offer men today something that TikTok never will: inner clarity. Not to win the game, but to rise above it. Not to manipulate her emotions, but to master your own. You want to deal with women from a place of power? First, you must reclaim yourself from the world that taught you to be desperate. Let's start with the Stoics. They were not heartless. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, buried multiple children in his lifetime. He didn't hide his pain. He observed it, held it, and ruled despite it. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It wasn't about denying emotion. It was about never letting your emotions hijack your mission. Most men today are driven not by values, but by validation. The moment she pulls back, he spirals. She stops replying. He rewrites his worth in her silence. But Epictetus once said, "He who angers you conquers you." And by that logic, if her mood dictates your peace, she owns you. So no, this isn't about being numb. It's about being sovereign. You feel, you just don't flinch. Now look to the roots of African philosophy. Ubuntu, rooted in southern Africa, translates roughly to, "I am because we are." But don't get it twisted. Ubuntu is not people-pleasing. It is about community built on character. The idea that your presence affects the world, and therefore your responsibility is to embody integrity. In traditional warrior cultures like the Zulu or the Ashanti, manhood was earned, not handed out at puberty. You had to undergo rites of passage, confront pain, confront failure, and come out forged. They knew something we've forgotten. A man cannot lead others until he can lead himself. A man without control of his desires is a slave to them. And here's the twist no one tells you. Women don't actually want to be worshipped. They want to be witnessed, respected, loved, but not pedestalized. When you contort yourself into something she'll like, she loses respect. Not because you're weak, but because you've abandoned yourself. And if you don't stand with you, why should she? Women are mirrors, not missions. If you seek them out to fix you, calm you, define you, you'll only meet reflections of your own instability. But if you stand rooted, if you move from principle instead of impulse, she'll feel it, even in silence. Let's get one thing straight. You don't have to prove you're a good man. Be a man of truth, and goodness follows. Be a man of discipline, and attraction follows. Be a man of mission, and connection becomes natural, not coerced. That means walking away when your values are disrespected. That means not needing to explain your absence when you're met with disrespect. That means not flooding her phone with questions, but flooding your own life with purpose. Because a man who can walk away without theatrics is a man who commands respect. Let me speak plainly. The way you show up in relationships often mirrors the way you show up for yourself. If you abandon your standards, your body, your word, don't act surprised when people do the same. If you fold at the first sign of discomfort, you will attract chaos, not companionship. Stoicism tells us, practice voluntary discomfort. Fast, lift heavy, go without the dopamine hits. Why? Because when life strikes, you won't panic. You've already trained for it. A breakup won't break you. A silent phone won't shake you. Your internal state is already fortified. And African thought? It adds something just as essential: dignity. Not just survival, not just grit, but grace under fire. a warrior who dances, a leader who listens, a father who disciplines with love. Masculinity in this sense is not hard-edged. It's balanced, like a lion who sleeps 20 hours a day, but when he stands, everything watches. Now, maybe you were raised without a strong example. Maybe you learned about women from sitcoms, schoolboys, or a father who couldn't master himself. But now the responsibility is yours, not to become perfect, but to become principled. Don't chase her, replace her, not with another woman, but with your work, your growth, your peace. The only triangle worth fighting for is between your purpose, your character, and your freedom. So what does this look like? It looks like silence when you're baited. It looks like no when you're pressured. It looks like disappearing from places that require you to betray yourself to stay. It looks like honoring your word, even when no one is watching. It looks like keeping your body sharp, your spirit clean, and your mind calm. Most men live in reaction. Be different. Live in creation. Design your days. Set your standards. Enforce your boundaries without yelling. And when you fall short, because you will, get up without self-pity. Shame is a trap, but responsibility is liberation. Because the man who leads himself cannot be led astray by anyone, not even the most beautiful woman in the world. And let's be clear, this is not anti-woman, this is pro-man. The healthier you are, the more you attract healthy connections. The more stable you are, the less you'll try to fix or control others. Women aren't the enemy, your own confusion is, your own lack of clarity, purpose, and discipline. That's what breeds dysfunction. So stop trying to decipher mixed signals. Start sending clear ones, not with your words, but your presence. She pulls back, you hold frame. She tests you, you don't flinch. She disrespects you, you leave, quietly, not to punish, but to protect your peace. Masculinity, at its core, is not bravado. It's not performance. It's presence. Still, grounded, intense. Not because it's loud, but because it's real. And here's the kicker. Once you become that man, you won't chase women. You'll choose them, carefully, slowly, with standards that were forged in solitude, not desperation. You don't need a savior, and neither does she. What she's longing for, whether she knows it or not, is a man who cannot be moved by mere beauty, because he sees something deeper. A man who listens more than he speaks, who acts more than he explains, who walks away not out of ego, but out of elegance. Be that man, not someday, now. This is growth and development. Subscribe if you're ready to build not just attraction, but a legacy.